Hello guys, so in this video we are going to talk about your 7th lord of D1 chart placement in the D9 chart in the first house. Okay, so this is the new series that we're starting today. So I will cover 7th lord of D1 chart in all the houses, okay, along with the planets. Okay, without wasting time, let's start this video. If you want to take my personal consultation, so please check the link below. Okay, so let's start this video. First of all, what does your 7th lord of D1 chart shows? It shows you about your partner, okay, about your marriage and relationship in general. Okay, it tells everything about a relationship. So that's why studying your 7th lord of D1 chart is very important. But it is not only enough. You need to study your D1 chart 7th lord placement in the D9 chart as well. Okay, for example, your 7th lord of D1 chart is not well placed in the D1 chart. Okay, it's placed in the 6th house or 8th house or 12th house, which we generally do not consider to be a good placement. Okay, or is aspected by malefics, or is afflicted in the chart, is a Rahu Ketu with malefics. Okay, so in that case it becomes very important to check its placement in the D9 chart. Okay, if it is well placed in the D9 chart, we can say that after problem or after being in some failed relationships, karmic relationships, you will get a true partner. Okay, or later you will enjoy the fruits of your marriage. But if it's not well placed in the D9 chart as well, we can say that there will be obstacles, too much obstacles even after marriage. You may have to go through one or two marriages. So we need to study the whole chart. Okay, so the first house of Navamsha chart actually shows it is the base. Okay, whichever planet is placed there will decide what kind of married life you're gonna have, and the lessons and the learnings you're gonna learn from your marriage. Okay, what you are going to transform into the lagna of the D9 chart, it tells it. Okay, it tells like what you are from within. Okay, when we take birth in this world, we are actually what this world makes us. Okay, we take birth in a particular reason, in a particular religion, okay, in a particular family with that kind of customs. Okay, and we forget what is our belief system. Okay, what our soul believes. Okay, so that's why Navamsha chart actually transforms into what you actually are. So that's why the Lagna of the Navamsha chart is very important, and it also tells you what kind of married life you will have. It tells you what are your expectations from a marriage. Okay, now firstly, if it is placed in the first house, it shows that after your spouse comes into life, your life is gonna transform. Many transformations will come in your life. Okay, you will completely transform. Your spouse will influence your personality a lot. Okay, your personality will change. Your spouse will help you to realize what you really are. So one sign that your spouse has come in your life is that your personality will start to improve. Okay, many big changes, many big transformation will come in your life, like your Navamsha chart, the ascendant of the Navamsha chart will start getting activated. Okay, it will fully get activated after marriage, but still it will get activated, and your belief system, your thought process, everything will start changing. Okay, so these are some signs that you may see when your spouse comes in your life. Very much influence will be there. Now it is your good karma that your spouse will come to you himself. You will not have to go in search of your spouse. Okay, without making efforts, without making any efforts, your spouse will come in your life. If it is Saturn, we can say you may have to make efforts. Okay, but generally your spouse will come to you by himself. You will not have to make any efforts. And it's a good karma, good blessing that your spouse will actually bring in your life. Also, it's possible that you meet your spouse early in your life, like in your teens or in your childhood, someone your childhood friend, or you must have studied together in the school. So high chances, high possibilities are there of these things. But your personality is very much going to change after marriage or after your spouse comes in your life. Okay, you will like very much be influenced by the personality, by the looks, by the knowledge, by wisdom of your spouse, and will think like, oh my god, what I was before meeting this person was really not myself. Now I'm trying to become myself. For example, you are a person who always liked beauty, arts, media, but you never got a chance because of the society. Now, if you have Venus, okay, as a seventh lord, and it sits in the first house, it shows that after your spouse comes in your life, you're actually, oh my god, I'm realizing myself, what I am actually a person. Okay, your spouse will help you to realize that thing. So depending upon the planets, these things are there. And now you can also get married during the Mahadasha, Antardasha or Pratyantardasha of that particular planet, because it is influencing your ascendant as well as the seventh house of the D9 chart. So possibilities are there that you may get married during the dasha of that particular planet. Okay, so we have to see this way. It also protects the marriage, and it also shows a very deep intense desire to get married, and very much devotion towards the spouse. Your spouse will also be devoted towards you, and your spouse will also be influenced by your personality, by you, by your looks, everything about you. Okay, if it anywhere makes connection with the 11th house, it will bring gains in your life. If 6th house, it can bring troubles in your life. So depending upon the lordship of the planets in the Navamsha chart, you have to decide what particularly a planet is gonna do in your life after marriage. Okay, so this is the way we need to check what's gonna happen. You and your spouse, you both will be very much influenced by each other, and it also shows a soulmate connection, deep love, past life connection. And now why you have got this placement in your first house in the D9 chart, what is the karmic process here? Okay, what is the past life connection here? Now one thing, understand that karmic and past life is different. Past life connection can be any connection, soulmate, twin flame connection, but karmic connections are also past life connection, but karmic connections are for time being and they will definitely end. Okay, karmic connections don't have any future, and karmic connections, no matter karmic connection is with your parents, your siblings, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, no matter whoever, your karmic connections with that particular person will end when everything is sorted out. Okay, so no matter how much you love your spouse, if the spouse is karmic, your spouse will definitely go from your life at that particular point. Like many people die when they get married, they die early. So these are the karmic relationships, because they only come to take something from you and then it finishes, they go away. So these are some relationships. Okay, so now basically your relationship, I don't think it's a karmic. I think that your spouse is actually your soulmate or twin flame, who is coming to teach you, okay, or to make you what you really are. So it's a very good relationship with your spouse, depending upon the planets as well. Okay, so yeah, it's a good placement. If I talk about is it a good placement, yes, obviously it's a good placement. It's a place in the Kendra house and in the first house. So now let's see the planets. Okay, if it is Sun, so it shows that your spouse will be very authoritative, dominating, bossy person. You will always attract authoritative people in your life, someone who has contact with government, someone who is highly authoritative at a very good position in his life, someone who is dominating and bossy, bold, energetic and dharmic as well, someone who is good looking like Sun, and may have many followers, may have many well-wishers, and many people following that person. You may attract always that kind of person, someone who is a natural leader, or any government person, So you may attract these kind of people a lot in your life. Your spouse may also have some connection with government, or maybe at a leadership position in your life. Now you have to see the signs. Okay, depending upon the signs, we can tell in which field your spouse will be bossy, or be authoritative, or be a leader. Okay, so depending upon the sign, we can take out the fields where a spouse may be a leader. Okay, so this is the way. And then we see Mars. So Mars is a planet of fire. Okay, now Mars ruling the 7th house, may it be Scorpio or may it be Aries. It is sitting the 1st house. Firstly, it shows a very passionate relationship between you and your spouse. Okay, because you are highly manglic. Now I consider 1st house to be really manglic, and very manglic person you are. So it's better you marry someone who is manglic as well, because the passion that you have, the fire that you have, needs someone to like be equal to that thing. So that's why it's better you marry or choose someone who is actually having manglic dosha in his kundali. It also shows that you and your spouse may have to compete to be in a relationship, or to be in marriage. Okay, depending upon the houses it's ruling. Also, Mars shows too much passion and energy in the marriage. Even when you get older, you will have that spark in marriage, you will have that charm in marriage. Okay, and also you will have that stamina to fight against the worst situations and fight for your partner. Especially you will be the person who will always fight for a partner. Even your partner will fight for you. Okay, to save the marriage in any situation. If any bad or worse situation comes in your life, you and your spouse will definitely stand together to fight against that situation, especially your partner. So it's a good thing. Okay, although it creates manglic dosha, I would suggest you to never get angry on your spouse, and whatever may be the situation, just deal with the situations very peacefully, very calmly, and not really in anger or getting furious all the time. Okay, now if it is Venus, so Venus gives a very good spouse. It can be Libra, it can be Taurus. Venus gives a beautiful good looking spouse and romance in marriage. You really need to have a love marriage and romantic marriage. You really need to have romance. If Venus gets exalted in Pisces, it shows that you actually want to learn to love nature and spirituality, and bhakti marg, or we can say worshipping God with love, can be the way towards spirituality, and your spouse will teach you that. Your spouse can also be spiritual, and after a spouse comes into life, you may really become highly spiritual, or later in your life spirituality may increase. I mean to say that I don't say that you are going to take sannyas or not going to be in the world. I just want to tell you that you will become spiritual and see your marriage with the eyes of spirituality. Not, you will not be materialistic, and you will also experience true love. Okay, now if it's Mercury, so Mercury rules two signs, Gemini and Virgo. Now when it sits in the 1st house, it shows that your spouse will first of all be very communicative. You can meet your spouse through social media. Your spouse may come to you to communicate with you. Okay, and then you may start dating or something, but definitely your spouse will come to you. You also want to have communication with your spouse. Okay, communication becomes very important for you in marriage. So as for your spouse, because it's truly 7th house in the D9 chart, in a D1 chart, that's why for you communication is important, as well as for your partner communication is very important in marriage. Okay, and also you will look youthful for a very long time, even your spouse. So even if you get older, you will keep this marriage alive, just like you were when you both were younger. So that's why it's a good placement. However, it really shows that you both will not have patience to marry, and will really want to get married early or faster. So that's why some situations may occur, but we need to see the sign and the nakshatras as well. But it is a good placement. It's a benefic planet which is placed here. Also see where the dispositor is placed and all that thing. But having Mercury in the first house shows you are very clever, you are youthful, and so as your partner will be. And after you're getting married, you will become really cunning and clever in all the aspects of your life, which is somewhere really important nowadays. Okay, if you have Moon as a D1 chart 7th lord and it is placed in the first house of the D9 chart, it shows that your spouse is very motherly, very caring, very nurturing, okay, very youthful also. But it shows that after marriage you will become quite intuitive. Okay, your intuitive abilities will increase, you will become sensitive and also very nurturing, caring. Depending upon the dispositor where it's placed, your anger will go. You'll become calm and patient, and your spouse will be very nurturing. Well, if you have never experienced love and care in your life, okay, or absence of mother was there in your life, your spouse will treat you like a child and will nurture you like a mother does for her child. So very motherly, caring and youthful spouse you will get. Okay, so this is the spouse that actually gives, but you are also very emotional. You will also be very emotional, and this relationship will based upon emotions, very deep emotions, emotional attachment. But see the signs as well, because only Moon doesn't do anything. So we have to see. However, it shows karmic connection with mother of your partner, with mother of your spouse. You will definitely have some karmic connection to be paid off. Okay, so your spouse will be like a teacher to you. Someone from your past is actually coming to teach you something. Okay, for example, it's in Gemini, so your spouse will basically teach you about communication. Okay, something related to communication. It is not always about religion or something. Your spouse can teach you whatever is your desire. Okay, for example, you always wanted to learn about editing videos. Okay, if we talk about highly materialistic aspect, so your spouse will be the one who would teach you about how to edit the videos and how to do all that stuff, or anything, whatever was a desire, your spouse will come and fulfill that desire. Okay, because Jupiter is a highly beneficial planet, so that's why. But it also depends upon the sign. For example, it's debilitated, so it doesn't mean it's bad. Okay, because still it's getting directional strength. These people are very focused and they know what they have to gain in their life. It's if it's debilitated here, so basically it shows being highly materialistic. But these people here have the karma to help people. So your spouse karma is to help you in the materialistic aspect as well as the spiritual aspect. So this is the thing we have to see this way. However, it will definitely protect your 7th house by giving it 7th aspect. So it's really good for marriage. Now if it's Saturn, so Saturn in the first house will definitely delay marriage. It is a karma that you have to learn. Your spouse will come to teach you patience, to teach you discipline, and will also teach you that to get anything in our life, we have to work hard first. We don't get anything without hard work. Saturn here is coming in the form of your spouse to teach you something, the lesson of your life that you have to learn in any manner and you cannot escape. Okay, so in the form of your spouse, Saturn is coming to you to teach you that lesson and you have to learn it. Also, your spouse is coming from your past, and there are some of the karmic debts that you have to solve with your spouse, no matter you like it or not. Okay, so the basically, because in the past you may have ignored marriage, or you didn't you got married really easily and you were not able to understand like how important is marriage. So that's why so that's why you have come in this birth, and Saturn is sitting in the first house to teach you that the importance of marriage, that marriage is not easy. Marriage requires sacrifices and lot of things, lot of efforts. Okay, so it's actually going to teach you the marriage, and somewhere your desire was also the same. However, if you want to go on a spiritual path, it will also take you on a spiritual path because it's Saturn, however, and can also take you towards occult and mysticism if you really want. So it's basically a good placement. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment.